Hi everybody, we're out here in the blueberry muscadine patch, and I've been picking the last of the blueberries. I want to make some blueberry cookies, and I think they're going to be really good, so I want you to come along with me for that. But I was going to kind of show you, I have a few blueberries left, not that many. If I lift this up you can see there's quite a few down there, but they're small, and mostly the birds are getting them as they ripen now, because there's not that many left. But anyway, our neighbors have been seeing some rattlesnakes in this area. We've had 2 rattlesnakes reported the last 2 days, so if y'all hear me scream and drop the camera and run, you're going to know what happened. Because I'm not hanging around for a rattlesnake. I can tell you that right now. Also, I've noticed with our muscadines that we have something getting them, and it's probably a raccoon or some squirrels. Let me show you how I know that. They are picking them, and if they're not ripe, they'll just take a little bite and throw it down. If it's ripe, they'll go ahead and eat it. And you can see, some of them they ate that were ripe, and the other ones they just took a bite and threw it down. You can see right there. Yep. But we've got a lot of muscadines. I don't know if you can see them, because the sun is kind of out. It's about to go down, but I'm not very good at recording either. So let me show you right here. I think you can see better maybe from this angle. You see all those in there? There's a bunch of them. They're really pretty. We've got, and they're so big, that's what surprises me about these this year, and all we did. Now, we do have a drip system on these, and we have some tanks that we put fertilizer in. And I picked up some Miracle Grow, basically. Just what we used. But yeah, those are really pretty. I can't wait for them to get ripe. I just hope that the coons and the squirrels don't get them all. But anyway, all those right there, those are all loaded up underneath there. And we'll talk more about that later, because we're going to do some recipes with those also. But right now, we're going to set some traps. We're not going to let these raccoons and squirrels get off our grapes. So anyway, then we're going to go in and make some blueberry cookies. So we'll be back in a little bit. Hey everybody, we're back, and we set our traps, so hopefully nothing will get any more muscadines tonight. I don't really care if they get the blueberries, but I don't want them to get our muscadines, so hopefully we'll get those trapped and get those out of here. But we're going to make this recipe, and here I've got everything set out here. So this is what we need for the recipe. We need 1½ cups of blueberries, and you can use some lemon extract if you want to on in this, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to use some lemon juice. You're supposed to use the juice of 1 lemon, which equals out to about 2 tablespoons, and you're supposed to use the zest of 1 lemon. And I've got some dehydrated lemon zest, so that's what I'm going to use. You need 1 cup of sugar, and you need 2 sticks of butter. This is salted butter. I don't have any unsalted, so I'm going to use just a small amount of salt instead of it, but it calls for like a ½ teaspoon of salt, so I'm just going to use maybe an 1/8 teaspoon of salt. You probably don't have to use any, but I'll use a little bit. You need a ½ teaspoon of baking powder, a ½ teaspoon of baking soda, 3 1/4 cups of flour. You need 1 cup of the white chocolate chips, and you need 2 eggs. So what we're going to do, we're going to come back. Oh, you need some vanilla. We're going to come back in just a minute, and we're going to mix this up, and I'll show you how we do it. Okay, we're back, and I am creaming the 2 sticks of butter, and I'm adding a cup of sugar to that, and I'm going to let that cream for just a little bit. And the next thing that we're going to add is our eggs. And really you want to let your eggs sit out for a little bit and get to room temperature. I did not do that, and I should have, but it just does a lot better if you will do that. And while we were on break, I combined all of my dry ingredients, the baking powder, the baking soda, the salt, and the flour together. And we'll put that in just a minute. It's looking pretty good right now. And now we're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Let that get mixed in. And we're going to add our 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. The next thing I want to add is some lemon zest. So I'm going to add about a teaspoon of that. Let that get mixed in good. Scrape down your bowl. Always do that so it'll get mixed well. You can see that butter underneath it has not been mixed in, so we're mixing that in right now, scraping it down. And it smells really good. It smells really lemony. Okay, and the next thing that we're going to add is our dry mixture. And we're just going to dump it all in there all at one time. And we're going to make a mess while we're at it. Oh me. I'm going to turn it on low because I don't want it to fly everywhere. But this makes a very stiff cookie dough. And it's kind of like a sugar cookie dough. It's not that sweet. So if you want it to be sweeter, you probably should add a little bit more sugar. But to me, it was fine like it was. But some people like their cookies pretty sweet. We like ours not quite that sweet. But you can see how stiff the dough is. It's pretty stiff. And it's really hard to mix by hand.
We've got our dough ready, and this dough is just a basic dough. You can add anything you want to this and flavor it. Today we're doing the lemon blueberry just because we've got quite a few blueberries that we need to use up, and I put a little bit of flour in there, not much. And we're going to go ahead and add our white chocolate chips, and we're just going to mix this up. Now once we get this mixed up, we're going to put it in the refrigerator. And the recipe says you need to put it in the refrigerator for anywhere from 2 to 6 hours. So we're going to let it sit in the refrigerator for a little bit. Then we're going to come back and we're going to cook them. And we'll show you how they look. And we're going to do a taste test. And we're going to tell you how they taste. We're going to let Ronnie rate them and I'm going to rate them. So we'll be back in a minute. And I have to mention this too. Nikki is the one that gave me this recipe. She brought them to work. And she got this recipe off Pinterest. So anyway, we'll be back in a minute. I'm going to get this mixed in. I'm going to enlist my hubby's help since my arm is hurt. So we'll be back in just a minute with the wonderful cookies. Okay, we have our blueberry. It's really chilled, our blueberry cookie dough ready. And I'm scooping them out and putting them on the cookie sheet. So it's kind of stiff because it's cold. But my blueberries were pretty ripe, so they kind of turned it a little bit purpley blue, but that's all right. They're going to be really good. So I'm going to put 12 on here, and we're going to bake it at 350, and I'll tell you how long we baked it for when we come back. I think they're going to be really good. So, and I think I'm going to whip up a little icing for these. We'll put a little lemon icing on top of them. So we'll be back in just a minute.
Okay, we've got our first batch out of the oven, and they look really good. I mixed up some confectioner sugar, some powdered sugar, some lemon juice, a little bit of that lemon extract, and some lemon zest. And I'm just going to put some frosting on these cookies. Whoops, I got a blueberry loose. There's a loose blueberry. Grab it, eat it, hurry. I think these are going to be really good. I may have made that a little bit too thick. But these cookies are still warm, so it's going to run over and run to the side and kind of coat them good. I don't want a whole lot of icing on there. But I'm going to go ahead and finish these up. We're going to come back. But while we're gone, I'm going to do a taste test, and my hubby's going to do a taste test. We're going to try them. We're going to see if we like them, and we'll give you an honest opinion about what we think. But look at that. You see that? Looks good. So we'll be back in a minute. Okay, we're back, and we have sampled these cookies. I cut one in half, and I gave Ronnie a half, and I gave myself a half, and we tried it, and we couldn't decide with just a half a cookie, so Ronnie had 2 more, and I had 1 more. It took quite a few, but they are really good, and we enjoyed them. What is your rating for it, Ronnie?
I'd give it a 9.
Okay. Well, I think I have to give it a 7 just because I'm really tough cookie critic, and I've got some really good cookie recipes, and I'll do some of those before too long. I've got really good oatmeal cookies and chocolate chip cookies and some other cookies. And so it's very good, I'll have to tell you that. And the flavor's really good. It's got the blueberry and the lemon. And these I put icing on whenever they were warm. So you see some of the blueberry kind of mixed in with the icing. But they're really different. They're good. They're nice big cookies. See? And it makes between 30 and 40 cookies. So that's quite a few cookies for this size cookie. So if you want to take these like to a potluck or something, you'd have plenty. And you could make them even smaller. You could make them half the size if you wanted to. But I would say it's a good recipe if you want to try it. And the lemon icing is just confectioner sugar, powdered sugar, you know, a little bit of lemon zest and some lemon juice. That's it. And you could also make a cream cheese icing for these. It would be quite good. I have to give some shout-outs today. Booger 500, she's always using this Tangs, I think is how you say it, I'm not sure, stir-fry oil in her DeLonghi multi-fry. And I want to do some more videos on that. So I got this because she uses it, and so does Christy at Christy's Cooking Channel. She also has a DeLonghi multi-fry. But I have to say, Booger is the queen of the multi-fry cooker. And so I'm going to try this Booger and Christy because she uses it too. And I got some General Tso's seasoning I'm going to try and see if we like it. So it's the same brand, so I thought, hey, I'm going to try that. And I have to give a shout out to Big Lou at Big Lou's Barbecue because in my very first video that I made enchiladas and I mentioned Crystal hot sauce. And the other day I saw him cooking. It was some type of okra dish and it looked really good. But he put some Crystal in it and that really surprised me. And I told him this is one of our favorite hot sauces. And I had ordered 24 of these from Walmart because I cannot find them around here. And so I went and picked it up today. It's pretty heavy. But I took a picture, and Ronnie will insert it and show you we got our 24 bottles in. And Christy, I noticed you got one too, so I hope you'd let me know how you like it. But anyway, I just want to tell everybody thanks for watching. We enjoyed doing this video, and we're going to do some more before too long. So thanks for watching. Bye-bye.